As a BC homeowner, you would have received your BC home assessment by now. And you may have wondered, if I were to list my home right now, is this the price I would get for it? Welcome to the Condo Cafe. I'm Gerald Chan, your real estate barista, brewing hot topics and steaming insights in the dynamic world of Richmond, real estate and lifestyle. In this episode, we'll take a look at the relationship between the BC assessment and what your home is likely to sell for. So what is this BC assessment? Where does it come from and who made it? The BC assessment was done by the BC Assessment Authorities, which is a Crown corporation, and the purpose of this assessment is to get a fair value of the property so that the BC province, BC government would be able to tax us accordingly. So the assessment wasn't done to tell us how much to sell our homes for, but rather for the government to be able to tax us fairly. The second thing about the BC assessment is that it is at least 6 months old. In other words, if we were to receive our assessment on January 2024, that assessment was actually done in July of the previous year, 2023. So the assessment could have been relatively accurate for that period of time. But in 6 months, as we all know, many things can happen in the real estate market. So it may not be entirely accurate to base our selling price on the assessment as it shows on that document. So with that also in mind, we need to find ways to correct or adjust the assessment value of our home. So to do that, we would do a comparative market analysis. So this analysis is when we take the data from the MLS and we look for homes that are in the area that the home we're intending to price. We would find homes that have similar number of bedrooms, similar number of bathrooms, as I said, same age, and basically similar characteristics. And if we were to find those kinds of homes, we would take a note of what those homes sold for. So that would give us a very good idea of where homes with those characteristics are selling for. But of course, no two homes are the same. One home may have those characteristics, may have also a wonderful view from the lounge, for example, or there may be another home that has characteristics that are not very favorable, and we can talk about some of those characteristics later on. But anyway, each home is different, so there's a little bit of art in adjusting those numbers to get to a reasonable comparison and to come to a reasonable price based on the current market sales. So now we've got the BC assessment value of our home, and we've adjusted the BC assessment value by doing a comparative market analysis, and we've decided on a listing price for our house that we want to put on the market. We put our home on the market, and is this the price we're going to get? Of course, we know it's not. There are other factors involved. What are some of the other factors that are involved? Number one, are we in a buyer's market or are we in a seller's market? Number two, how well have we marketed this home? And number three, how lucky do we feel? Let's talk about these factors in a bit more detail. Are we in a buyer's market or are we in a seller's market? In any one point in time, there is always a supply of homes on the market and a demand for homes on the market. For example, if interest rates were to spike suddenly, it becomes more difficult for buyers to afford homes. So therefore, there would be fewer buyers on the market. So if there are fewer buyers on the market, then homes become more difficult to sell. And in that particular instance, we are then in a buyer's market because the buyers, there are only few of them and they have a lot of homes to choose from. But on the other hand, if there are too many buyers on the market, for example, there's a drop in the interest rate and all things being equal, as economists say, then we would be in a seller's market because there are too many buyers on the market and too many homes for sale. At this time in Richmond, BC, we are still in a balanced market where the demand for homes basically match the supply. So the prices are not going to rise dramatically, or they're not going to fall dramatically. So at this time, yeah, we're in the balanced market, but moving forward, there's speculation that, of course, that the interest rates will start dropping. And indeed, when we look at 5-year term mortgage rates, they're starting to look like they're starting to come down. And if that's the case, then buyers will start to appear, and we're going to be starting to see again multiple offers and huge lineups at the I wouldn't say we're going to see huge lineups at this time, but we will definitely see more buyers on the market. The second factor influencing the price of a home is the way the home is marketed or exposed to the market. In other words, how much marketing are we doing? If we haven't done any marketing, obviously we're not going to see the buyers, and nobody will buy the house. But if we do a lot of decent marketing, obviously more people will be coming to look at the home, and in that case we increase the possibility of getting a good price for our home. The next thing would be is, once the people arrive at the home, what does our home look like? If we have a lot of clutter, if there's a lot of dishes in the sink, and the backyard looks like a mess, and the front yard looks like it hasn't been cared for, obviously, in spite of the fact that we are in a good location, in spite of the fact that we have 4 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms or 6 bedrooms with en suites and the likes, if the home is in a bad condition, there's a good chance that we are not going to get a good price, obviously, right? And similarly, if the house is well kept and the kitchen looks nice, it may not be, top of the range appliances or top of the range cabinetry with quartz countertops or whatever. It doesn't have to be top of the line, but if the kitchen is neat and there's no clutter on the countertops, and the home presents itself very well, in that particular case, buyers will come in and can see themselves comfortably moving into that home. There's a good chance that they would increase their offer on that home, for sure. And then finally, how lucky are we when we put that house on sale, up for sale? If we're lucky, we can sell the home very quickly. But sometimes, it's all about timing. Luck is all about timing. We put the home on sale, and just at that time, there's a family that's moved into the city and looking for a house exactly like that. I mean, these things do happen, and a home can move very quickly. But sometimes it may be that that particular family bought somewhere else just before you put the home on the market. In this case, we may not be as lucky. So, we can never ever discount the luck factor when it comes to listing a home and getting the price that we want. But all things considered, luck does play a part. Also, along the luck vein, in a way, in Richmond, for example, there's this another factor of belief and things like feng shui, right? If our home, we all know this, if our home happens to have a number 4 in it, in Richmond, that's sometimes not a good thing, because of its connotation to the word death, the 4 number. Some people will stay away from that number house. So whilst other people may not care too much about it, but once we buy into a home like that, when we go to sell the home, there's a good chance we will not get as much if that home had a number 8 in it. It's very strange, but that is the reality of the number system of numbers in Richmond. And the same way with a thing like T junctions. If our home is located at the end of a T, that's not a very good feng shui situation. So we may not get top dollar for that home, in spite of the fact that it's in a good location, in spite of the fact that it has the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and it might even have a great view. But if that home is sitting on a T-junction, we're not going to get, we might not, I'm not going to say we're not going to get top dollars, but we may not get the top dollars that that particular home deserves. So those are the kind of factors that may play into the final selling price of a home. First of all, we start off with the BC assessment value of the home. The BC assessment is not up to date, so we adjust the price of that assessment to go up or down depending on how the market is, by looking at comps on the MLS. And then we take into consideration, is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? We take into consideration, what does the home look like? How well does it show? Does it look like a nice house and easy to move into, or does this house look like it needs a lot of work? And if we can just keep the house looking nice and presenting it in the best possible fashion, we've got a good chance of getting a higher price. And also finally, a little bit of luck. If we just so happen to be lucky and the right buyer comes, selling at home could be less of a challenge than what it could have been otherwise. Well, anyway, I hope this gives you an idea of how prices stack up against the BC assessment price. So I hope this helps anyway, and I look forward to speaking to you guys in the next video. Bye.